Good evening and welcome, as somebody used to say in England most evenings. So, hello, good evening. This is Gary Eduquedo, psychologist, psychotherapist, here in my office in Lausanne, Switzerland. Today is Tuesday, the 6th of May, 2025, and we are all participating in the 70-day challenge. Change your life in 70 days. Well, I hope you're working towards changing your life because that is what we're doing. That's where we're at. That is what is happening. So, just to give you a little bit of an idea of what is happening in my life, just because I am doing the 70-day challenge, and when things happen, when things change, I think it's important that I mention it to you as well, so that you can see that, sometimes things work, things don't work, things change, how we do what we do. So just to give you a heads up on my life, as if you would be following me, I don't know if you were following me over the last week, but on Saturday I had a control with my fitness coach, and on his electronical things. I don't know exactly how accurate it is, but it gives me an idea of where things are at. And what we noticed is that my muscles are not growing as much as one would expect, considering the amount of training that I'm doing. So after a certain reflection, a certain discussion, we came to the conclusion, we came to the conclusion, both of us, that I wasn't eating enough protein. Now, as I am a bit damaged inside with my heart and my liver and everything else, when I mentioned to my wife that maybe I should have more protein, she said, be careful because maybe with everything that's not working on the inside, too much protein could really be dangerous. So by chance, I had a blood test last week, and which was vaguely positive compared to what it was before. And my GP, my generalist, my medical doctor, said that I could phone him and we discuss it a little bit. So I phoned him up and he said, well, it's a bit more positive. You should drink more water. It was not very complicated. And I took the opportunity to ask him what would happen if I had a bit more protein. And he said, well, don't exaggerate terribly, but in principle, it shouldn't do any harm. So I thought about that and thought about having more protein. And I also realized that the structure of my life is a mess. Yep. Structure of my life is a mess because I work all day. After my work, I go to the gym, if it's possible. After I go to the gym, it's too late for me to get home to be able to do this live recording. So I come back to the office, I do a little bit of work, I do a bit of preparation, and then I do the live streaming. And then after that, I go home. Well, if I finish the live streaming around 9-ish, I don't get home till 9:30, maybe 9:45, and it's very late for me to eat. And I digest very badly that time. So I came to this brilliant idea because I am brilliant and creative. And I came to the idea that what I should do, because I'm supposed to eat more protein, is I'll have some protein during the day, a bit of meat or something like that, maybe a protein drink. And then in the evening, after the live feed, I can just have something light. So tonight I'm going to have just some green beans, which I've already cooked. I just need to fry up with a bit of butter, and that'll do as a dinner. So that's something that makes more sense. And Wednesday, I'm home early. Thursday, I'll do the same thing as tonight, maybe have some celery. Friday, I'm home early. And Saturday is fish day. So that works incredibly well. So that's nice. And Sunday, I'm at the house, so I can eat normally. Monday, I fast. I don't eat at all. So that's sorted that out. So that's a little bit of where I'm at and what's happening in my organization of life. Now, I will talk this evening about emotions. I'll talk to you a bit about that later. That's the theme for today. It's the theme for this broadcast. Broadcast? Why not? This broadcast, but I really wanted to mention something else that I found out today is that I have a patient, and the patient is doing the 70-day challenge. And I asked them, I'd say them, gender neutral, because medical secrets. I don't even say if it's male or female. So I asked them where they're up to, and their challenge is to reduce smoking or give up smoking, go on a diet, and have more exercise. And to stop smoking and to go on a diet is pretty tough, because most people, when they stop smoking, they eat more and they gain weight. Anyway, I asked this patient where they were up to, and first of all, where they started from. Started from about 30 to 40 cigarettes a day, which is pretty high. And I said, well, where are you up to at the moment? And they told me they're down to 5 or 6 a day. So already in just over a week, to go down from 30, 40 to 5, 6 is already incredible. It's just incredible. I find it difficult actually to, or not difficult to believe, because I believe my patient totally. And I know it's not someone that will tell me stories. There's no purpose to that. And also they are taking notice of what they eat. They're starting to reduce the quantity of what they eat, and they're starting to go out more often and start walking. So it's not enormous, but it's a huge change, and it's a huge advance. So just to say that there are people, and I have other patients. I have a patient that has in heavy medication that takes 1,400 milligrams of quetiapine a day, and they have already reduced by 100. And the plan is to release by at least 400 by the end of the 70 days. So we're definitely going forward on that. So that's sort of some of the message that we've got. Hello, good evening. And just to see what's happening, send me a message if you want to say hi. It would be nice. So tonight we're talking about emotions. So emotions create energy, which creates motion. It's really clever, isn't it? Emotion, energy, motion. And emotions are so very, very important in life. They're so important because they are the basic survival functioning of every living creature. It's so basic, it's so simple. If something brings you positive emotions, then you want to go forward to it, you want to repeat it, you want to keep it. If it gives you negative emotions, then you want to avoid it, you want to move away from it, and you don't want to repeat it. It's just an incredibly simple concept. And unfortunately, people get very confused, because in our modern world, these reactions are not very functional, unfortunately. Because, for instance, let's just say you have a co-worker or somebody in an association that you're part of, or something else where you see somebody fairly regularly, and you might not like them. They might be horrible to you. They might be rude. They might be unpleasant. They might smell. Who knows what? And that creates a negative emotion. So what do you want to do? You want to shout at them, you want to tell them off, you want to beat them up, or you want to avoid them. So these are just very normal reactions that somebody would have to somebody that they find unpleasant. And sort of the basic fight or flight reactions. And unfortunately, in our modern world, in our modern lives, we can't do that. We're not allowed to do that. So an emotion that is there to create a reaction, to do something which makes us feel better, is blocked. And it's very blocked in our modern lives. And that can be very painful and very, very destructive. The other is if we want something, if we find somebody very attractive and we want to be with them, and we can't because they're a superstar. I mean, I mentioned in the French bit is that I once knew a girl who was madly in love with Paul McCartney. She was madly in love with him. And she would spend something like 3, 4, 5, 6 months a year to find any sort of job. She would save as much money as she possibly could. And then she'd either go on tour with the Beatles, literally every single place they would go and play, she would be. And then there was one time that they were recording in England, and she contacted some other English friends that were also in love with the Beatles. who lived near the recording studio, and she'd hang out in the recording studio. She'd be there in the morning when they came. She'd say hello. She'd be there when they came out for lunch, and she'd be there when they'd say goodnight in the evening. And that's all she did. She was madly in love with him, and she was totally, completely distraught. When he announced he was getting married. And so, being in love, which should be something positive, to adore someone, that should be something positive. But in that situation, no, it wasn't. So we need to be very careful that things that are considered to be positive in general, if we're not careful, they can be negative, they can be destructive, they can be not very helpful. And things that are negative, which can be very, very destructive because we can't express them, can be useful because they give us energy to do things. And what is important and needs to be reflected on is when we have energy that some people call positive, some people call negative, it's just energy if you could channel it in the right areas. And this is at some point I'll come back to the 70-day challenge, because the 70-day challenge is based on channeling the energy to want to change something into actual movement. And that is what is so positive about this. But I'll come back to this, and I'll just talk about something which I call positive jealousy. Now, jealousy has a negative connotation. I'm jealous, I'm unhappy, this person makes me feel bad because they have something that I want and I don't have it, or whatever. So my personal experience with jealousy is when I came to the understanding, the conclusion that positive jealousy exists, because I created it for myself. Just a genius, you know that. And what happened, I was around 30. I went for something called Experience Week in a spiritual community called Fintorn. And in that particular situation, I shared a room with two younger guys, whose names I obviously have forgotten. It's 35 years ago, 38 years ago, whatever, nearly 40 years ago. It's a long time. And one of the guys, he had a job of backing up computers. So he had these huge reels of magnetic tape, and every night he would go in, and with his magnetic tape, he would actually record whatever it was that was on the computers. This is 40 years ago nearly, so it's a little bit old. Backup is on a huge metal disc with a mass of magnetic tape. And he would do that, and because it was a night job and because it was a little bit technical, he got incredibly well paid for it. And he spent the whole week telling everybody that would listen how much money he was earning and how he was going to go on this holiday. And I started to be rather irritated, to say the least, because I was 4 or 5 years older than him. I knew I was better educated than him. I really him of more dumb. I've lost the connection. Are you back? Hello, I'm back. I think. Yep, I'm back. So I was asking how this guy could be so much more successful than me. And I had done a little bit of a computer training, and I had taught myself a computer programming language called BASIC. And I was so jealous of him that I did something that I had totally hesitated to do before. I went and found myself an enterprise, a temporary agency that actually found jobs for computer people. I went and knocked on the door. Up until that point, I was very reticent. I thought I saw it once, and I thought, well, I can't do that. I only know BASIC. I've never done any proper work. I'm not professional. I certainly can't do that. And yet I was so angry. I was so jealous of him. It just pushed me. It created the energy that created the motion for me to go and knock on the door of this agency. And I went to the agency and I said, look, I program in BASIC, find me a job. And by miracle, They did. They found me a job, and I worked for about 2 or 3 months programming in BASIC for a aluminium company that had a whole suite of programs of writing in BASIC. I have no idea why they did that and not another language, but the guy that was the computer head, there was just him and then me. That was the language he knew, and it was a great program that we wrote together. He was obviously more capable than I was. And then after that, the agency found me a small job doing an Excel sheet, just filling in data, which was not very interesting. Then the company for the data that I filled in asked if I would come up to Scotland to do the same thing. He was happy with that. And after that, I got a job for a year as I installed a computer system. I became a computer manager. I wrote programs. I wrote databases, all because I was jealous, because the jealousy motivated me. That took me forward. So what I want to say is that there are types of emotions that we consider negative or positive, and it's not appropriate. Every emotion can be used either negatively or positively. For instance, patience. Patience is considered to be a positive thing. But if you're too patient, you don't do anything. Nothing goes forward. And I don't want you to be patient. I want you to have a certain patience in the process, but the patience is on something that's already moving forward. So that makes it good. But what about anger? Anger is wonderful because it's such a huge energy. It's so dynamic. If you're angry about something and you can find an appropriate place to put that anger, then that energy is available to you. And that's coming back to the 70-day challenge, is find for yourself the emotion or the emotions that make you want to change where you are at the moment, how you are at the moment, what you're doing at the moment. And these energies, and pump them up, reinforce them and say, I'm so jealous of this woman that's got this beautiful figure, or this guy that's got this beautiful body, or for instance, somebody that's successful in jobs, successful in life. And if your 70-day challenge is to go forward on something that's a professional project, then why not? You can do anything in these 70 days. Anything you can dream that's reasonable, that you can be reasonably optimistic, go for it. Don't be stupid. Don't be crazy. Don't give yourself unreasonable expectations, but find what you feel and use what you feel. Work on these emotions. These emotions are just so wonderful. They're so important because they give us energy. Nothing in life moves without emotions. If we don't have emotions to do things, then we drag. And dragging doesn't do anything. If someone says, "Oh, get up," and you don't want to get up because you don't fancy, you're not motivated, you're not interested, I've got to go to work, I hate my job, or I hate my boss, or I hate this person, and it's so difficult to get there. If someone says, "Hey, we're going to go out to a party or to the beach," it could be the same time. We're going to go skiing, and we need to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go skiing. Well, it's like, I don't want to get up, but I want to go skiing. And all of a sudden, wanting to go skiing can motivate you, can get you going. Or going on holiday. Often when I go on holiday, I drive at night. I drive at night because I hate driving during the day. It's very busy. The traffic doesn't move much. And my small ones get frustrated and tired and grouchy. So I tend to drive at night. They sleep. I have a peaceful drive, and it's great. But it's not easy to stay up all night and to be attentive and to be available to drive, to be safe. It's not easy, but I'm motivated to go take them on holiday, to go on holiday. And afterwards, I'm motivated to get home, to get to bed. But that motivation, it gives me that energy. It takes me forward. And this is what I want for you. I really want for you to dig into your feelings. Dig deep, deep into your feelings and say, I really want this for myself. My patient that said, I want to stop smoking. Smoking is so unhealthy. It's so bad for me. And I did it once in the past, and then I just thought, oh, I'll try one again. And baff, it all fell to pieces. And for years, they've been smoking like a lot. And recently, because they're not a very comfortable position in their lives, they've been smoking much, much more. And now we've motivated them to say, okay, I can do this. I hate myself for killing myself with cigarettes. And I've seen people die of cigarettes or cancer, and people that can't move and people that are very sick. I hate that. And I love myself. I love myself enough to discipline myself, to frustrate myself, to go forward. Because as I've said in the past, and if you watch some of my other videos, you'll know about this concept, is that every time you're doing something different than what you usually do, and that can be not doing something, not eating something, eating a smaller portion, not taking a medication, or whatever, or you do something that you're not used to do, go out for a walk, go out for a run, do your work that you don't tend to do very well. Anything that you do that's different than what you usually do, you need to make the decision in that moment to either stop doing the thing or to do the thing you're not used to. And making that decision takes energy. And the energy comes from your motivation. And your motivation is your emotion. And I seem to be saying the same thing time and time again, because I do hypnosis. And the more you say something in hypnosis, or when you're a seller and you keep wanting to sell something, you repeat and you repeat and you repeat. Yes, it needs to go in. It's important that you motivate yourself. If you can find other people to help you, to support you, to help in that motivation, some form of a coach. I have patients that even though they are followed by me, I'm a decent psychologist, psychotherapist, I'm good at motivating people, I'm good at helping people. I have also some patients, actual and in the or ex-patients from the past, that have had personal coaches. Personal coaches, not just for sport, but just as a personal coach that they talk to, that gives them other practical ideas and supports them emotionally. And that's great, because the more people you have around you that can support you in your project or projects, because you can do several at once, that can support you in that, the more you're being held. And that is so important, because I know 70 days, 10 weeks can seem a lot, but it's balanced in as much as it's a lot. But if we don't have that much time, you possibly won't be able to see that much in results. 10 weeks gives enough time that even if you move quite slowly in your process, you will get somewhere. It's a bit like the story of the tortoise and the hare, or the tortoise and the magic tree. It's another story, tortoise and the magic tree. It's called Uwankalema, the name of the tree, just in case you're interested. It's a story from, I think, Africa. But it's the same thing. The tortoise will go slowly, and the hare will go quick and then get bored and go to sleep, or whatever. The other animals, the jungle animals, all did weird things and they forgot the name of the tree. It doesn't matter. This story of the tortoise is, slowly, you win the race, because you keep going. So it doesn't matter how fast or how slow you're advancing. Just keep with it. Keep feeling that I want to go forward. I want the result. It's important for me. It's important to get away from a negative emotion, and it's important to go towards a positive emotion. And this works. I guarantee you it works, because one of the concepts that I repeat quite often, and if you watch some of my videos, you already will have seen it, is the secret of my successes is the fact is that I start off is that I dream. I love dreaming. I dream of something. And After that, I think, is it feasible? Can I be realistically optimistic? Because obviously, if you want to become a millionaire in a few weeks, or if you want to seduce a film star as well, that's not likely to happen. So give that up. Don't go there. But is it realistically possible? Can I stop smoking in 10 weeks? Well, obviously this person can. Can I lose maybe 5, 6, 7 pounds? Well, for a lot of people, it is possible in 10 weeks. Just so under a pound a week. If you do a certain amount of sport, and if you reduce what you eat, it's totally doable, etc., etc., etc. So is it realistically possible? And then if it's realistically possible, then you need to have a strategy and you need support. You need to be able to put into structure how you're going to do that, because it's only realistically possible if you have the means to do it. It makes sense. But after that, it's work, 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 work. Discipline, focus, and keep going. And that bit is long. That is the 10 weeks. The dream and the is it realistically possible, and basically how I'll do it, that's before the 10 weeks start. I mean, if you come in late and you want to join in, please join in, and you'll do as many weeks as there are. It's not the end of the world. You do the best you can. Maybe you'll have a full success, maybe a partial success. Even if you're a bit disappointed, it doesn't matter, because we're going to do another one in September. So don't worry about, I'm too late and it's already happened. No, another one in September, and it'll be free, and you can join if you want, and don't worry about it. Everything is great. But what is important is keeping your energy up. And we do have moments that, energy fluctuates, our emotions fluctuate. We have good days and bad days, and we have if we're women, we have our periods, and men, we have our bosses or whatever. Things go up, things go down. We have our bills that arrive at a certain time, and we have to deal with that. But if we can keep that emotion reasonably high, and every time we start to feel down, we go back and dig up that emotion again, then that gives us that energy, motion, and we go forward, and we keep going forward. It doesn't matter how fast, it doesn't matter the quality or the quantity, as long as we keep going forward, we will get a result. And if the result is not exactly what you want, join me again next time, and the time after, and the time after, and we'll keep getting more and more better results. I did this myself between January and March. I lost weight, I gained muscle. I still have a big stomach. I'm still not satisfied. I'm doing this again. And if at the end of the 70 days I'm still not satisfied, I'll do it again in September. I'll do it in September anyway, because I'm doing it with you. You're not doing this alone. We're doing this together. That's the whole point. So I trust you will go forward. Thank you for your time. It's great that you're here. I've been told I have to every time to mention, please like, please subscribe, please share, please leave comments, because all these things help the algorithm. That means that more people will be offered this. The more people that see this, the more people can join in, and the more people I can help. Because ultimately, this is to help you. I'm here to help you. And at some point, I will publish a journal book. At some point, more than likely, I will publish a theory book. At some point, maybe I will create an app. All these things are for the future that will help me to actually finance myself. But for the moment, there is nothing to pay for, nothing to buy. Everything is only free. You can put some money in Patreons if you really fancy doing something that's nice, but there's no pressure. And there's no benefit. There's no benefit from that. There's no, you get this, you get that. No, I'm not selling you anything. There's nothing to buy. There's nothing to pay for. It's totally free. And if I eventually have things that you can buy or you can pay for, it's totally your choice. You will not have to pay anything at all to do these 70-day challenges as long as I am doing it. I plan to do this. I don't know for how many years, but if it starts to take off, as I hope it will, then I will just keep doing it because I'm here to help people. That's my job. That's my profession. Over the last 25 years, I helped a few thousand people, families, but it's not enough. I want to have more people. I want to help more people. I want to be able to contact people all over the world and help them to improve the quality of their lives. And I'm going to do that most days. I'm going to do that tomorrow. So if you're available, I will be here tomorrow at the same time, same channel, same face. Not the same place because Wednesday I'll be at home, so I'll be doing that from my house, from my studio. So take care, look after yourself, keep courage, keep going. All will be great. And check in with you tomorrow. Bye for now.